Hello, welcome to Corey Reads. I am Corey, and today we will be continuing our reading of the Bible. We are up to the first book of Moses, chapter 17. Chapter 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Lord. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to the seed after thee. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and of thy seed after thee in the generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man-child in your generation, he that is born in the house, or bought with the money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born of thy house, in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh, for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face, and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear? And Abraham said unto God, O that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and he will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall be beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the self same day, as God had said unto him. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the same day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house, born in the house and bought with the money of the stranger, were circumcised with him. All right, so this chapter is about circumcision and changing names. So basically, God comes down to Abram, says, your name is now Abraham, and he makes a promise or a contract with him saying that his ancestors are going to rule the land of Canaan, gave it to him. He says, forever, that's your land, that's Abraham's descendants' lands, and goes on and then says that he has to be circumcised. And every child, when they're 8 days old, has to be circumcised, and everybody that is in his house has to be circumcised. So it includes as Abraham, Ishmael, and all the people that he bought, which means basically his slaves. So that goes on. It says that if they're not circumcised, then he's cut off from the promise and broken the promise to God. And it goes on and says that his wife is now named Sarah, and that she's going to have a kid, and that's going to be Isaac. And then he blessed Ishmael and says he's going to have a whole bunch of children too, and they're all going to rule and be very prosperous as his descendants. And then after that, talking to God, and Abraham and Ishmael go and they get circumcised, and he circumcises all of his slaves and everybody that's in his household. And that's it. That is what chapter 17 is all about. Thanks for listening.